Madam Chief Prosecutor of Missouri, thank you very much. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being patient and to be so present tonight. It is a significant moment that we are now engaged in regards to moving significantly the yardsticks of fighting impunity with the tools that the court can use to ultimately assault those who use children as weapons of war. 22 years ago, I was standing amongst 350,000 children who were slaughtered and mutilated and abused. And nobody came. Nobody came. And most abandoned us as we stood there, not able to, in fact, influence the situation, having run out of ammunition, food, water, and the will by many countries of even letting me use the forces that I had left. And so, yes, we saved a few, but so many others died. But they died at the hands of other youths who conducted the slaughter. The Interamwe militia were a youth movement that conducted the slaughter. Young people slaughtering young people. And that has not abated over these years, no matter what we have done in trying to rehabilitate, reintegrate. The numbers are still there, and the impunity is still too much there, and the viciousness is there. And so I think that it's essential that we thank the Chief Prosecutor for, one, the profound opportunity for us to, in fact, be part of this historic occasion of launching this policy on children. And I wish to thank particularly my Executive Director, Dr. Shelley Whitman, who ran the roundtables that were able to assist in moving this policy. A great advocate of children's rights, President Mandela once stated, "There can be no keener reflection of a society than how it treats its children. Children are rarely given visibility or voice in matters that affect their well-being. We are unfortunately living in an era in which children are being used and abused in armed conflicts to fight adult wars, where adults won't fight, but they'll use children to do so. Children are caught in conflicts that violate their basic rights in a multitude of ways, from forcible displacement to enduring sexual violence, to denial of humanitarian space, to attacks on schools, to being maimed and killed, as well as being recruited and used as a principal weapon of war in all these conflicts that we face today. The complexities of these wars require shifts in how we address their root causes as well as their impacts. This is why I founded the Roméo Dallaire Child Soldier Initiative, which aims to progressively eliminate the use of children as a weapon of war. Our work is focused on prevention and addresses critical gaps in the holistic approach to child protection by working from a security sector perspective that prioritizes the need to see the prevention of the use of children as weapons of war in order to improve child protection and to prevent conflict overall. Getting rid of that massive mobilization base used by so many state and non-state actors principally. Our approach recognizes that long-term shifts in practices and policies must be accompanied by tangible solutions and partnerships and field-focused. 2 years ago, when we were approached by the Chief Prosecutor to assist her efforts to end impunity for those who commit the worst human rights violations against children globally, we recognized that this was a critical piece to achieve effective prevention and response to the plight of children affected by war. Over the past 2 years, through this collaboration, we have helped to conduct a series of those roundtables around the world with children and youth who have been directly affected by war, who have been soil soldiers, from Somalia to Sierra Leone to the DRC to Colombia, and even amongst young Canadian children, to provide the insights to the Office of the Prosecutor to assist in formulating this policy. And as a result, key findings from these roundtables, from these children who were at the core of the problem of having been abused, have helped to shape the policy that has been launched today and has a fundamental resiliency because it is based on children understanding that they were the source of all the use and abuse that those who are, in fact, in positions of impunity. We see this partnership providing a key bridge to those who may not otherwise be willing to listen to messages that focus on children or international legal norms. On children. On children. As we conduct advocacy and training efforts amongst police and military and even prison personnel globally on how to improve their interactions with children in armed conflict, to introduce new doctrine and tactics, to have them stop killing children in conflicts and in fact use other means. The signaling of the importance placed upon the protection of children by the ICC and the Office of the Prosecutor, and the repercussions to those who fail to respect children's rights is a critical message the Dallaire Initiative will continue to highlight. Our proven ability to get the security sector actors to change their attitudes, change their ethos, change their behaviors, change their tactics and their ways in order to protect children and prevent their recruitment. Those are the inroads that we will lead to more dialogue that will help to translate this new policy's intentions into practical applications in the field and hold those accountable. Protecting children should be a priority for anyone engaged in the efforts to attain peace and security. We are into multi-generational wars because children are multi-generational. They become adults, and that's all they know, and that's all they are able to handle. We must cut and break that code of recruitment, of use of children as weapons of war. It is no longer acceptable to relegate these issues to the bottom of the larger agenda. They must be front and center to create a child rights upfront approach. They are the sources of the continuum and sustainment of many of these conflicts. We've got to pull them out of the conflict and hold those accountable who actually recruit them and abuse them. Let us start here and now to echo this message far beyond this room for the children that are affected now and for the generations to come, for generations have already for too long suffered as being used as weapons of war. The lead is with the prosecutor and with the court, and I thank the Office of the Prosecutor and her staff, as well as my own staff, who for working so diligently towards this momentous occasion of pulling together this policy and giving us the tool, giving us the guidance we need to hold those accountable for abusing children as instruments of war. Can we imagine war based on the fact that the primary weapon system to fight it, these adult wars, are actually using children from 7 and 8 years old to 17, 18. That is inconceivable in societies of our era. Yet it is sustained because we're letting it happen. And this Chief Prosecutor is giving us the policy to cut it and to stop it. And I hope we will support it as we in the field are going to do our best to apply it and bring those who are with impunity abusing massively the rights up front of these children. Thank you very much.